Shine down!
I see everything!
You are not welcome here.
Solidify!
I will have order.
Hold the line! Roll! Yes!
Illusion shattered!
This may hurt a little.
Stabilize!
Rest and rebuild!
This is order! Quake! Solidify!
There is no escape!
Everyone's
You
okay?
are not welcome here. I will have order.
Shine down!
Osmanthus wine.
Hello there.
Crumble!
Hi, whoever that may be. I'm just gonna do the chores. Quen, is that you? I see you have left a message.
I'll demonstrate one hundredth of the speed. But pay attention this time.
Either way, I hope you haven't sent a message in chat because I haven't seen anything. And the last time they popped up as they should have. Or maybe it's just a mystery guest. In which case, hello. I'm mainly just messing around right now. And I will also stay almost silent because there's nothing to talk about while doing something as mundane as this. There will be ample time for discussion when I go to the opera house where I am supposed to go. Yes. And now wait for like 5 minutes in case someone
Where do you want to
else
go next? If you'd like to
happens
see Liyue's tourist
to
spots,
join the
I
party.
have a few references.
Seems like the stories
And
here
before
never
we
have a
start
happy
talking
ending.
about Jasmine Vine, let's just stick you in the wall. Alright, enjoy the music. Hiya! So it was you the whole time. I wasn't mistaken. What's up, Gwen? Seems like it's just the two of us for the time being. Ah, yeah. Thankfully, I don't have such trouble because I just don't log out. Also, tell me if I'm way too low in volume because then I'll have to mess with the game. Just where's my code?
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
Hold on. In a few seconds it's
Seems like the stories here never
8:30,
have a happy
so
ending.
I'm just believing and we will have like a very intimate chat, the two of us, from what I can tell. Do I have? Nope. I just did the first part. We met a child and he just casually haunted us with his vision. which is a very bold move. And I get the feeling he should be ripe for a second character quest, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got this back during that. So yeah,
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and
nothing
forth.
much on that
And those that
front.
come across it.
And honestly, I don't know what it is about my current settings, but the voices seem to be louder than usual, even though they are quite low. Jeez.
Paimon coming in!
Anyhow, so yeah. Also, I've been spoiled on a few things, such as the alignment of Linny and Lynette. And by extension, I guess Fremine, but I'm not sure on that front, so that will be a smaller surprise. But
Where do you
yeah,
want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's
let's rock.
Whoa! Now this is fancy! The Opera of Eclairs. What a place to hold a performance! No wonder Linny and Lynette were looking forward to it. Huh. Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, is it Salsa?
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
Vache.
Hmm?
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you hearing things?
Last time something like this happened, we were in Elena's.
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children.
Lynette! You scared Paimon! When did you get here?
She did the swoosy.
Lenny asked me to wait here for you, remember?
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen like this very small scene from the trailer, so I expect Lynette to be out of commission for a while, but I also heard like something about child trafficking, so, which reminds me, yeah, we met Charlotte and she was talking about disappearing young girls, so fancy that.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you? Besides, it's the middle of the day. It's not the time for eerie things.
I see. I might be able to tell you something that could help explain the voice you heard. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element. Others in my family have had similar experiences.
Okay, this is interesting because as far as I know there are 3 of you and none of you are hydro. Maybe your parents? Or quote-unquote father, whoever that may have been.
It's because of her sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have to do with elemental power?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
It sure sounds all out of the blue.
Just answer me. When do you cry?
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared.
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. Even the tears of... So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
That wasn't intended. Okay.
So, what did the voice say? Huh. If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened to them.
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother first. Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance. So chatting with Linny might help him relax a little before he goes on stage.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Let's go in and see Linny.
I bet there's just enough of these on the map right now to upgrade it to level 20. Well, I'm missing apparently roughly 2 chests. Ah. Okay. Yeah, it's also really interesting to see having done every single world quest beforehand. Alright.
Ah, Traveler and Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take you to the best seats in the house. Wait just a moment, I'll fetch the tickets.
Is he gonna just make them appear? No? Oh well.
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Like, how far in advance did you know that we are coming, to be exact?
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Linny.
Yeah, like there was this part before we met the thief at the docks, and Paimon just started saying something. It was all cut off, and then Lily and Lina just turned heels and started walking, and it felt as if they were just leaving us because they couldn't care any less. It was hilarious.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a look at this?
That also sounded a little awkward because the guy was running and yeah, not the best delivery there.
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll go lend him a hand.
Howl.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Linny.
I mean, Cowell will not be doing Arzad for sure. Okay, is that the man?
Oh, these
Yes,
should be our seats.
it is
Come
very
on,
nice.
let's sit down.
She says, hovering. Stop. Yeah, this would be so awkward. You're like half an hour early, just sitting right next to a dude because both of you happen to have front row seats.
Uh, hey, Traveler, maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still, it's kinda awkward if we don't say anything.
I mean, doesn't Nivilet also basically live in this place? Much like Farina.
You little... Of course you put this on Paimon!
You also could be talking to each other to make it a little less awkward and maybe you join in. Just saying. Also, wow, this blue part of the flower looks so out of place right now. Anyway,
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry.
yeah, he couldn't give any less of an big ass.
I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Okay, what's our topic for today?
Oh! So you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down.
Yes, he does sound very polite, and I heard that he retook his whole entire everything after a certain scene, so that's dedication for you. And yeah, he would be me in this situation. I have very, very good ears, and that's one of the reasons I'm not very good at getting a good rest.
Wait, that's not it, Paimon's. Sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. Let's talk, but, what should we talk about?
I mean, does he come here often?
Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
And somebody else comes in right now, right?
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet, what an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
I mean, at least he told us who he is.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is.
I in fact do not know, because I am new here.
Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Yeah, I've sat there already.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really.
I mean, he's the backbone of this nation from what I can tell.
And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now.
Is she just waiting for us to look up there and see her posing?
I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
She lives for the drama. I can tell that much.
So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Posing?
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seats.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
Although, let's be honest, we have probably seen way crazier things. But yeah, this is a nice change of pace, or would be in theory.
Oh, they're dimming the lights! The show must be starting!
Shh!
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
She's such a mood.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today.
Yeah, I was like not really excited about getting a free copy of her. But yeah, she's really cute. And I will want to use her, so I've built her somewhat.
Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Which is true because I have just seen your thingamajigs missing.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. I farmed some of the new desert artifacts with her, the ones that give you health damage if you lose health. We'll see how it works out. She's a good support as it is, anyhow.
I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Huh?
Yeah, that was funky.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't see him do anything!
Yeah, that would be really hard to do. So I guess some of their backstage helpers did something too, but I know something is about to go wrong.
Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
I'm more impressed that she disappeared.
Thank you everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all.
Okay, realistically speaking, you would need like a prop who looks like Lynette. And something that can also dissolve into water. So the only way I can see that is someone with hydro powers that are really impressive.
In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap!
Okay, considering that this world technically has the technology to teleport, this is feasible.
Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box.
Yeah, and if it was an actual magic show and in real life, there would be like a tunnel where you disappear to, so you can switch places.
Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow, how's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin.
Also, it would be fun if it was us. Then we could see what happens, probably.
Let me see.
No, that's
Row
not us.
7, seat 3. Congratulations!
Oh.
You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute.
It's our thief girl.
Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box.
I have figured since the beginning that they are either in cahoots or they let her go. I'm now more leaning towards the former. Yeah, I also had a feeling, but...
I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, they have balloons.
You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh, Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
60, 59, 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54, 53, 52? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
You're a listener, eh?
Oh, alright. You looked so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something.
40, 39, 38! Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the message. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, mid-air right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all.
He's talking too loudly if we can hear him. Oh? Is it done?
What was that noise? Did you hear it too?
Oh yeah, that's a fair point.
Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
25, 24, 23! What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Yeah, that's just... it's part of the show then.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19, 18, 17.
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's alright. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10,
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7,
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5, 4, 3,
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0.
Ta-da!
Okay, so this is what goes quote-unquote wrong. But I also think... Yeah, that didn't look like the girl, but someone else.
Huh? Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no, maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
She was really into it, man.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
Anyhow, the injured seems to be a man, from what I can tell. The girl seems to have disappeared entirely, in which case...
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found.
Okay, so yeah, that was my initial thought. The weird thing is the Cowell part.
It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly?
Yeah, I mean, considering the whole game is very low-key about people dying and stuff, until you go to the inverted statue of Ventis, where we see our first actual dead body in the game. And it's like, what, 50 hours in for the average player? That's a lot. But yeah, this is also a first.
I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Excuse me, but he's like 18 altogether. AKA, not over 20 years old.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not?
So how are those two connected?
Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
I mean, I have seen memes of her being really stupid, and I guess this is the first time it really shows.
That can't be right. How can Lenny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us they would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
Yeah. Also, what was I thinking of just right now? Yeah, the only thing I can also think of, without knowing other context, is that somebody who was actually connected to the missing girl cases realized that Lenny and Lynette were onto them. And this was like their way of getting them out of the way.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
Yeah, I really get the feeling that she doesn't like to be in charge. She just wants to enjoy her drama.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense.
No,
Looks
it
like she's
doesn't.
gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, traveler. You'll support Lenny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Exactly. Although, I guess some of the early cases happened so long ago, and maybe there was such a long break between each that some people have just simply forgotten the older cases.
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met.
That's an exaggeration.
But with Lenny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese?
Yeah, that too. Also, I forget to mention, but during the part when we were in the shadows, it looked, our blue glowy stuff looked really cool.
Was it a draw? She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order.
He's so done with her shit.
Well, traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case?
Yeah, sure, but realistically speaking, we have no idea how this works. We've never been here. We've never been taken to court before. We only know that the Hydroarchon is very dramatic, so this is a very bold statement here.
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Please tell me I don't actually have one in-game day to look for everything and I can just come back whenever I actually want.
Linny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
Yeah, I really don't think you did
Good to
that.
hear. Thank you so much for trusting me.
Oh,
I'm sure
I have
everyone
to be
sees me as
inside
the
the
biggest
building.
suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion.
Yeah. Like, judging by the trailer, because I eventually had to run into it somehow, I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know if I'm spelling her name correctly, Arlecchino has a hand in this all. But I'm not sure what her motives would be in that case. She would want to get close to someone who is usually hard to get a hold of. And we have only 2 of those people in here.
I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Paimon, please put that away. Also, this quote has appeared in game at least 2 times by now, but rather 3, because I know Amber also quoted the book.
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh?
They were selling this? I mean, makes sense. Detective merch.
Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence.
Also, this will be awkward for a magician, but he will have to tell us how the trick works. And yeah, the only thing I can imagine with Paimon that she occasionally finds change in the streets, collects it, and that's her savings.
Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Don't expect too much from me. I'm a total layman.
Yes, thank you so much.
I'm not sure I'm used to this sort of thing.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
Still, you will have to explain us how the box trick works, because that's where things went wrong.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
So we are not gonna learn how these tricks work? Damn.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case!
Also, I would personally...
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I would personally ask them to reperform that thing, just so we know how it's supposed to go down. Oh, okay.
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
We're already here, sir.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see.
Esimundo, what are you trying to say?
The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive!
Are you both good friends of his?
That would be hard to tell, but he bailed us out once.
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
Like 2.5 days.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand.
That's true.
I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
Oh, this is how you can tell that this will be a long one. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, the thing I would be curious about, first things first, is the length of the rope and whether it really burned in the exact place where the fireworks may have hit it. Mission Impossible. So, if I were to teleport out of here... Okay, so, like, teleporting out of here right now would probably mean that I'll have to redo basically nothing, maybe talk to Liney and Esmond again. But if I were to leave later, it would be a big whole less mess. Okay, I have about an hour and a half, so let's try this. Yeah, the biggest question right now is why the hell that dude was even inside. I would guess that he was intended to be murdered by the one who did this. Okay, Wogan. And whoever
The
else.
investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time.
Okay.
I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
Yes, and if we would have been paying attention, we would have realized that it was the thief girl.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us too.
So I'm more and more convinced that she's kind of part of... Hi, Eve. She should be part of Linny's troupe.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Even though it's bad for Linny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
Okay. Oh, there are two. Okay. We can inspect every of the three things. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge tank of water. It will smash stuff. Oh, I have just begun the investigation, Eve, so this might take a while from what I hear.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall.
Yeah.
The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly?
Yeah, this is what I'm wondering. I think somebody lit it roughly where the fireworks would have hit it.
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
And yeah, that's also...
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material!
Well, okay, that is actually unexpected. Like, you would think someone would notice that. In fact, Cabo was one of the people setting this up, so... Huh.
Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means...
It was planned, Paimon.
Wait, Paimon should write all this down. Let's take notes.
Yeah, that's it. That's the writing process. You get it done. It's lucky that even a little tiny bit of it was left, you know? Sup? I guess I can talk to you too. Isidore.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too.
Were you in the audience?
If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, alright?
Or maybe Charlotte's concurrence?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
Considering what Liney was talking about inside the box after it happened, it seems to have been intentional.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
It happened about halfway through.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Yeah, it's obviously burned though.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
And yeah, if it's swinging, then it won't hit the thing that you want it to hit.
Well, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
But he may be right regarding it being the tank. Yeah, that wasn't prepared as a magic trick, so she would have had to go somewhere.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
We should ask Lenny and Lynette, perhaps? E. Oh, the other box. Ta-da! Why can't I go inside? Okay, we have done this part. Can I? No. God damn it, they took away my grandpa. Maurice, tell me. What have you seen?
What are you investigating?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence.
Okay, can I go inside?
Seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Yes.
Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person.
That's true.
Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
But why would she steal?
Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects.
Yeah, unless she really is the thief girl because she had the same hair and eyes as far as I remember.
Simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us.
Dude, we will be the first
It is
ones
of
to
utmost
catch her.
importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Yeah, blue eyes, blonde hair, pigtails. Very much seems to be the other girl with the different dress on. And if it's not her, then please, Hoyovers, unique NPCs, I beg you. Can I go in here? Nope. I guess there should be some people and whatnot left in the other echelons and the hole. Okay. Oh, here you are.
Winnie's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright. Winnie's still talking to the guard. I think someone...
Okay. Let me out. Oh?
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
It's the Mafia.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the mark about that one, but who are you?
Someone who likes to be a detective, maybe?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
Nope, I have read it once or twice somewhere.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
I like the star.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time.
I'm gonna guess he tried to correct the case and eventually that led to his demise.
Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Yeah, that's what I felt too.
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for clues now! But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Alright.
Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she?
Yeah, and then she realized she fucked up.
But
But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her.
That's a good mindset.
All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me.
I can see that.
In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
Usually not.
And why would that be? See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the Traveler's response was most excellent. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact.
That's a very Charlotte thing to say, and I agree.
And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Since someone who's apparently more well-versed has entered the scene.
Oh, well, I can be the assistant, sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
She's chill. I like her.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
It's also a mood.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks!
They all want to know.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
I can see that. Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I could make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
Navi, I'm sorry, but if you pick up something, it has to go somewhere.
You need not worry about such things, demoiselle. That falls under my duties.
Oh, right.
Good for him. Magazine, what up? What's done?
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on. I doubt there was much opportunity then, either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But
Maybe
still,
later.
I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door,
I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
You have the little feelers, you can feel everything.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This'll be useful info.
Not that.
Here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going.
Okay, apparently I have my team back.
Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
So we are either about to fight something, or we are not about to fight something, then we should be able to leave now, which is nice to know. Okay. Do you believe in magic?
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and we'll be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Ooh.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick.
I guess so.
But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
I don't know, man. I don't know what this is supposed to look like.
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
I mean, I can see the balloons are gone.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Yep.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
Yeah, you just have to be able to run really fast.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
The thought could have been the trolley hitting the wall, which means they had ample time to get rid of her.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
So
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
I mean, that could have been a double too.
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I guess she was Lenny.
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Lenny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Yeah, and a binder, I guess.
And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
Yeah. Honestly, it would be really fun if they actually used a different Lenny model with boobas just for that one scene, so you could put one and one together, and it's a blink it and you'll miss it kind of situation.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would.
Yeah, because someone exchanged the girl to a guy who then was murdered.
But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
So someone else was down here who messed with everything. Which is fascinating if you consider that Lynette was supposed to be down here as well.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime.
Yeah, this somebody knew what they were up to. This somebody is most likely part of the troupe or is very close to them.
Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Lenny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Jesus. I mean, it's not hard to have better deduction stuff going on than Farina, because she forgot that these two are basically kids, and the disappearances have been going on for at least 20 years. Anyway. Oh, is that a dark spot underneath? Is there an NPC over us, or... Wait a second. Are these places for some reason emitting a dark shadow? That looks funky, I'll be honest. I'm not sure I like this way of doing things. Anyway, let's do one thing at a time. So we did those two. And yeah, since you can do the E, I see no point whatsoever in doing these dark patches, which look like shadows. I have them set on the lowest possible, so it's just a blob.
What's this?
Weird grappling hook?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
This may be our lead into why the water tank fell. Wink wink.
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Okay, something definitely happened here.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
I mean, the only other place where we have seen water is the water tank. Huh.
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear? And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Although, if you think about it, we don't know how much time Lynette spent up there before the box went back up. So, the actual crime probably happened while both her and her brother were up. And then someone got rid of the girl.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
I wanna double check the police officers now.
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
So Paimon put on another pair of glasses. Yeah, not this. But yeah, there's few things remaining. I'm gonna go out of my... There must be a way out of here behind one of these things. It's cliche, but what you gonna do? Yes, thank you, Mr. Obvious. Then we have the trolley itself. Went! She wented!
What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Yeah, that's... I could easily fit through here. Even my mother could probably easily fit through there, even though she's a little on the chunkier side.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, the space would be too narrow.
Maybe they didn't have to pull them at all.
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, You're right! Let Paimon write that down.
So, when
Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
When Lenny and Lynette went up,
Yes, let's head back up.
someone who was hiding in here came out to mess with the performance. This seems to be a scene of struggle. Unless the girl itself knew what was up. Which is very unlikely. Okay, do we have anything else here? This. I can probably not go up this way. Because, you know, actually, it's funny that there's no water down here because it should have dripped down, if you think about it. Okay, hello? Hello? Oh, this is not what I want to do. That's what I wanted to do.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement.
Can we go there?
The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then! You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
Actually, has anyone checked if the vent is still empty?
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
But only in the murder case. Nothing else to see there.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the oratrice will hear statements from both sides. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced.
Also, I'm still fascinated by this scales thing, which is apparently never wrong. That's a very interesting item, and yeah.
The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
It is fascinating, man.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This, too, will be used by the oratrice as a reference.
So the last decision is what the oratrice will say.
Then, finally, the oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? I thought Novelette called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment, which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice.
Yeah, that's a very good guess. I actually didn't consider that, Gwen, because I just figured, maybe Farina was left with some kind of item by the former Hydroarchon, and that's how she produced this machine. But that does make a lot of sense, that the Gnosis powers that whole shebang.
Yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial. Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
That's a really good question, since you are stuck here for a whole day.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
Look, I'd be happy with 2 ham sandwiches.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too.
Maybe later.
I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
Also, just give me a fireplace and I will be able to create a 5-meal dish.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Yeah.
Huh? Here? But how?
I actually still have one of those things that you can build and just pop down in the wilderness, and I actually don't know what their use is. Maybe this is their use. Bake a campfire in the middle of a crime scene.
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snack soon enough.
Oh, do I get some for takeaway?
These 3 are quite the interesting group.
Aha!
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling.
Eve, here are the macarons that you were craving.
From the way you had these 2 guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
She even ground the almonds herself right here, alright?
I was applauding.
That's a very serious job.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Yes.
Paimon was just thinking. Aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty, beating egg whites and baking like this?
Seems like she has learned from past mistakes.
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks.
Okay, those must be her other skills.
Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Chill out, Paimon.
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
And especially after a sugar crush.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit.
Okay, the sweets and the bitter will even each other out.
No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
All right then. down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber.
Actually, what are the chances of somebody having dug a way out through the tunnel?
However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowell.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
I mean, she had reason to be wary. But would she really have been able to stuff another person into the box she's just been in? It also could be a really weird suicide.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the Magic Troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search?
Also, apparently she's a painter. I'm not sure how that will be relevant or is relevant at all.
From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
It actually doesn't sound really good because I don't like too sweet.
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
Fair.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
Alright, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal.
It's still weird that 2 macarons just randomly disappear in the middle of chat.
Maloose, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Silver is the dealer.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again.
Yeah, also, honestly, I would love to see the way the props were hung up, too.
It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Alright, thanks for your help, and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Maloose, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Considering there was a switch in time and quests, we should be able to leave, although I have nothing to really spend or do. Oh, the expedition reward still. Let me just... Can I? Does either of you know how much I would have to replay if I left right now? If anything at all, because we just got story update.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and
Even so, I
unchanging.
think it should be fine because we got our team back. It tells me to wait. The following day, 8 to 10 o'clock. So the message may just mean, hey, if you leave now, it will take you out of the quest and it might be confusing to come back to it. Are you sure about this? Although, you know what? Let me just... No, that wouldn't mean anything. Okay.
Whoever the murderer was, they must have made preparations well beforehand. This rope was obviously tampered with. People needed to register and reserve a seat for the show. That, combined with this number selector, could allow you to pick a young lady instead of some old fogey.
Yeah.
This is probably a prop, too. Oh, looks like it could hook onto a lot of things. Like the Traveler's fishing rod!
But more likely to the upper whatever echelons.
Flower vase is probably a prop for the show. But it also could have been used in the crime. Paimon doesn't get this at all. You think about it for a bit, Traveler. Why would it be him? How strange.
I'm missing something, huh? 3 things actually.
Gosh, no wonder the serial disappearances never got solved. We all heard that noise, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm not deaf, Paimon, actually, so...
The performance would not have been visible from where the doors were guarded. If Paimon were on duty, she would have snuck back into the audience seating. Well, there was no chance Paimon could have seen that the box had 2 layers.
Oh, so it will be part of what comes next, I would suppose.
And that's why only the 2 of them can perform this trick. There was no 3rd person. And Paimon didn't eat more than 3 macarons either. Digging a tunnel just for a magic trick? Whew, that must have been a lot of work. That size wouldn't have been a problem for Paimon.
It's still a little interesting that there are 2 clues in the tunnel that we haven't found. I'll just go down and then set the clock, get this over with. And after this part of the quest, yeah, it's likely I will walk around and then have to stop for a while.
Illusion shattered.
Oh, I cannot do that anymore. Alright, I can actually look behind. Tell me, hey, what can your eyes see? Actually, why the hell do we have a chair here? Eh. Alright. 8 o'clock. Oh, we don't actually have to wait all that much. Only 8 hours.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
Here's the thing, why don't I know my own thoughts? I mean,
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
yeah, it's a weird mechanic if you think about it too deeply.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands.
Yeah, especially if you think about it when you have to wait for 2 days and the traveler is just standing there for like 18 hours in one spot without eating, just blinking away at the world, like, what the hell?
Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
That's probably true.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
Oh, that's what this place is
Finally,
for.
you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Just please tell me that I don't have to do the thought bubble thing, because that is the part of the game I hate the most. It usually just drags on and doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
That's interesting.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Yeah, how could he have not heard that? Actually, Lynette, I know you don't like talking to strangers, but could you tell if you have heard that?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
That's the thingamajig we once found, right? I don't actually remember its name.
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It would have been nice if they refreshed us on the House of the Hearth, because I would be kind of confused here if I didn't know this plot twist.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny! Why didn't you tell us this before?
To be honest, that's a fair question.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true? Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes,
That's
they're
true,
Your Honor.
Yeah.
that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Yeah.
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
My only question is, where the hell did Lenny go? I mean, we knew he was onto that girl. But why would he single her out during a performance? Did they send her invitations too?
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Honestly, we should probably ask Charlotte and all her intel.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right, let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately?
Now I see why you would think that it has something to do with the noses.
During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
Wait, the girl is a thief. Is she inside the Oratrice right now? Also, yeah, that's a very good question.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came.
Okay, so it was either the thief girl or Farina. But actually, yes, that will be. The Archon will love it. But yeah, they will have to be sentenced somehow anyhow.
On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought.
Yes, Lynette, any update on that?
After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
So would the Earthers be able to mete out the catastrophic sentence just at random whenever it wants?
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Yeah, and let's just finish this whole thing if we have already begun.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Okay, we are still missing one fact, which I guess will be revealed by our main character. Oh, this is the side room, which I wasn't able to come to before, but there's nothing of interest. Blah. Just a small little chest would have been nice. The nail-biting trial comes.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention, at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Let's just see how this works. I mean, everybody loves drama here, so they will be intrigued for sure. Okay.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel.
Okay.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her.
I'm sorry, that was He's a little too scrawny for that, sorry.
At this time, Cowl arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowl's death would be ruled an accident.
But where's the girl?
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced and what he saw.
So jump down, which sounds... like,
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Is this the part? Yeah.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
I guess.
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time.
Which makes it even more wow that the girl disappeared. I mean, yeah, he would be cleared from these charges, but they will have to go through another trial.
Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent! Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
The most awesome thing about this, Paimon, is that you were wearing a funny mustache all along.
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowl hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Lenny needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell them! That's why they're partners of mine. I've managed to turn things around.
Well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound?
I mean, the audience is used to this. All they have to do is lean one way and be all into the drama.
You're saying that he wasn't?
We are about to get this, I would suppose. So we have these three. These are not... I would like to show her this though. We are... I'm not sure which one to choose here. Maybe it's irrelevant which order we are going in. Although I doubt this is our first and foremost clue here.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought?
Alright, let's select the lady part.
Are you sure we don't need
Nope.
to give this more thought?
It actually was this.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Yeah, I just... I'm not concentrated enough to pay attention to what exactly the claim was, even though they just repeated it in front of my face. It's getting late.
Well played.
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Okay, so here... Okay... Yeah... I mean, they should maybe put on... Like, we will have like the whole screen full of this whatever right now, but the latest two claims or whatever, they should put it in a box or something so you can keep it in mind. Select answers and fill out the empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made mistakes, you must make another selection from the remaining options. Once you have answered all the questions correctly, you can complete this logic chain. I will please near the end of the show, and I'm going to explain this can also probably... Okay, what about... Okay, Lenny gave a detailed account on how the tree was supposed to work. Okay, now that. Having changed her outfit. Yeah. Lynette interests in the charge to the stage intelligence. Oh yeah, these are the questions. Man, I absolutely did not read the top part.
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along? Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person.
Fine. Trigger the accident. What's the original plan? Okay. Yeah.
Could there have been a
It doesn't
third
matter
person?
whatever I choose,
The
it will
deceased's
be
name
just...
is...
Yeah, there were hints of this guy being involved with the plan all along, but... What was the original question?
The killer was, in fact, Cowl, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
So it really was a really weird suicide attempt.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Yeah, he tried to get the girl. It didn't work out, I guess. What?
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to... It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Okay, select this.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
Okay, this is fine.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal.
Disconnected.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So, there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Is this it? No. I'm pretty sure the first three are still correct.
Linny was not in the tunnel at... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the No one entered or left the opera house through it. The sound we heard may have...
Okay.
Halsey's clothing... No one entered or left the sound we heard may have come... It would have been tough for both people to fit.
Okay. Still not. Okay. Whatever, man.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant.
Alright, I've long forgotten what I have selected and what not. Wow.
Halsey's clothing was in the...
I mean, previously this flashed red too, so I have no idea what the hell is happening. Yeah, so an insider. Yeah. We know that.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Yeah, like, where's the girl?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff.
So I
Here
was supposed to
thought you
fail
had
that?
something to show for it, but it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, Since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Objection! Whatever it may be.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
I can see Lenny not being aware of Cowell being also an agent.
The vase was not broken by chance.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped.
Is Halsey an oceanid?
Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
It'll take like 2 hours, man.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowl was targeting that girl...
Maybe he was supposed to drink that.
Just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. But we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hut! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
One of the side quests also delves into this. Okay, let me
rope that
just...
strung the water. Now it seems like the hook.
These.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Inside the box, you mean? I don't see how this is connected right now, but...
Lynette was in the magic box on stage the water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? The water from the primordial sea should already... The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
I'll mess it up anyhow. Let's
Lynette
just...
was in the magic box.
I know. Switch it with
The deceased's name is Cowell.
this and
The
that.
water from the
That's the only thing I
primordials-
can do, because these two are connected for sure. Inside the box and the other one. Okay, that one is correct.
I remember there was some... Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire...
Okay. Why did you make the thing I wanted to submit disappear?
The deceased's name is Cowell. Lynette was in the magic box on... I remember there was something else within...
What was
Lynette
this?
was in the magic box on stage the entire time. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Lynette was in the magic box on... Lynette was in the magic box on...
Oh my god.
I remember there was something else.
Why can you select something multiple times? What the hell?
The rope that strung the water...
Anyway. Who's the prime suspect? Okay, I mean,
The deceased's
this
name is
would
Cowell.
mean Cowell.
I remember there was something else. The water from the primordial... The deceased's name is Cow.
Why are there two times the same clue? Whatever.
Lynette was in the magic box on.
Yes. I mean,
The deceased's
here's the
name
thing.
is Cow.
Why is it multiple times? Anyway.
Lynette was in the magic box on. I remember there was something else within. Lynette was in the magic box on.
Okay, this mentions a person. Is this it? Still no. Wonderful.
I remember there was something.
I sent almost the very same thing the very first time, but the ropes instead of the water thing. How about you just kick the ropes out and so I can just put in something else instead of going through a million stages? Thanks.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box.
And the magic box contains answers lowered.
When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
I think she knew she was messing up the moment Neuvillette asked her, are we pressing charges? You sure about this?
No. It seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
I guess this is where Navia comes back and solves the case.
Am I right, Mr. Linney?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no! Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linney, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry, Spina di Rosula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila!
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cal. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief!
A very fashionable thief at that. This is her third set of clothes.
Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure.
So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee, but then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me.
So the original plan was actually what we said, but she's from Mondstadt, so it didn't work.
I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
Yeah.
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it.
Also, that's fascinating. Who was supposed to die? Or yeah, this whole thing, this whole setup was something somebody wanted, and not anybody actually dying.
Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
What do we have here? Yeah, here's the dissolving piece, which is no. Yeah, this is probably true, but here... What's this? This is not it. No. Let's start with something more obvious. Okay, that probably is the same. This is the thumb. Or should we start here? Counting? No? Okay. This is the part. Jesus, where am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to? No. I hope I don't have to do it in order, because that would be horrible. Is this the thing? No. Then maybe that. But the first round was so obvious all across the board, and now I'm just picking random
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened. The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell.
Yeah, thank God, because...
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
Okay.
And it's Ace Detective time on time!
Yeah, once I found the first one, the rest was easy to put together. It was just, I tried to put it on place 3, what happened at place 2.
Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket.
Yeah, but even so, the weird gear thing where you could reselect stuff because it popped up again, it's just really weird.
Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowl out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended. She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
That's very uncomfortable, actually.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses.
Aha!
Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
The only question to me personally remains that does the water work and how, and why do we have one part of it in Lenny's trunk?
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
She absolutely would have bailed.
What, are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow, look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowl, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowl thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks.
I'm still confused why the rope we found never became relevant.
He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowl entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
This thing is still fascinating to me, and it creates energy from this. What the hell? And it creates little booklets?
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Paimon, let's be honest, we would have been screwed if it was only us.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn.
Yeah?
How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dare to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
Anyway, so all the ladies who disappeared, they are either Oceanids or rest in peace.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve.
Also, is your boss in connection with Renee?
It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Glub.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Are you gonna talk?
So, we're just going back now?
Okay, so the thing is, I may have forgotten what I wanted to say. Why? Oh yeah, I wanted to ask why the hell this boss suddenly decided to dissolve young women? What's the rationale behind that? I sure as hell don't know.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time.
Also, I have actually seen a meme on this on Twitter, and yeah, we are all buddy with the child, but now we are really angry with him, even though he also helped us out. It's a little weird.
As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks.
Yeah, it's a very wishy-washy sometimes. Like, I get that we kind of tolerate Child because he's all, hey buddy, with us. But yeah, when we met in Fontaine right now, it seems to be more of an amiable connection than anything else.
I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first, too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
So basically he used Linny as a literal circus act, like a pet monkey who juggles balls.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
What the hell?
Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans.
So, something else, huh?
She has gained permission from the Saritsa to first use the Gnosis' power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
Is she from Fontaine?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine.
Okay.
We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
Also, it's still fascinating to me that Fremine still hasn't been mentioned. Where was he at the time, or did they basically adopt him into their little family?
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
Yeah, this line is... yeah. There are always people who twist the truth, so...
It's alright, I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Vakatta.
Bye, Linny!
Okay. Leave the opera house. No. First of all... Can someone quickly spoil me on whether this can be finished in 10 to 20 minutes? Because if not, then I will finish for today. Oh.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Alright, and I see Eve disappeared somewhere down the line, but oh well. Okay, I will go for the end of Act 1 then. And I might as well leave the resin for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm supposed to go here. Boop. Loading screen. I'll be honest. At first I was really scared of these loading screens because they are really long when I first load up the game. But once you have loaded something in, it seems like my graphics card is doing the job, making everything nice and fast. Hi. Oh my god, do I have to enter and then leave the opera house again? What kind of shenanigans are these? Huh? I broke the game! Oh, never mind. There we go.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too? Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah. I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it feels really weird though, because we help everyone, but then suddenly we are hyper focused on our finding our brother quest again, which seems to be the case here. But yeah, we would have been entangled in this anyhow, but...
Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Oh, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
And now you're treating us to food, so Paimon's in.
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful! In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal!
Yes. Okay. That really was fast. Oh, we have multiple quests, okay. Nice, I was running out of things to do. This will be a really fast one though, from what I can see. But yeah. Anything to say, Gwen? Because I think I'm off for tonight. Yeah, we just had that big flash of new quest, yeah, Act 2, so... we won't be having a dinner tonight. Oh.
Inactivity serves no...
I got the thing! Ta-da! Might as well try and juice up that. Child headpiece, which looks to be borderline useful. As long as it can hit what it weighs the top two. And basically set. Oh, wait. Double? No. Double? Not anymore. Oh well. Well, yeah. In that case, have a nice evening, Gwen, and see you around. I don't think I will be streaming this weekend, but maybe next weekend when I don't have to go to training to the capital city. Yeah. Alright. Oh, I can't jump in here. Wait. Haha! Splashy, splashy. Yeah, have a nice evening. And fun with your Benny, who was very much overdue. Okay. See you around. Bye!